How's it going, everyone? David Hoffman here from Behind the Catch Fence. We're here in beautiful Bristol, Tennessee for the Thunder Valley Nationals. Hoping it doesn't rain at all during the weekend, what seems kind of inevitable, but we're here with Justin Ashley, Top Fuel driver. And Justin, obviously I think you're fifth in the standings right now. You've kind of had an up and down season so far. Just how would you describe it to date?
Yeah, I think right now we're kind of right in the middle of what we're calling our process, right? It takes time. Every year is different. So for us, our focus this year is making sure that we're positioned well in the countdown. And part of that is a process. So we're testing some different things at different times. But so far, so good. We're fifth in points. I think we always have a high expectation for ourselves. So we expect to win every time we go down the racetrack, but it's just the nature of the beast. So we've had our ups and downs this season, but I certainly like where we're at. And, we want to make sure that no matter what we do, we have the end in mind, and we're positioned to go for the championship at the end of the year.
And, it's funny because, look on social media and that sort of thing, and you see these people freaking out, oh my gosh, Justin Ashley's, what's going on? There's a problem, but just behind closed doors, behind the scenes, you seem like you're just as even-keeled as ever. Just what do you feel is what's been that process like? What's kind of maybe not making sure, what's kind of forcing you guys to be in this position instead of, actually having a couple wins under your belt?
Yeah, I think, we see some of that stuff too, and I get it. I actually think it's a compliment because it means we've performed well in the past, but at the same time, I do think it's a little bit overblown, right? I mean, we are fifth in points, and we've got off to hot starts the last few years, but it's not always going to go that way. We've raced 7 races so far. We've had 2 runner-ups, maybe a few semifinals and stuff like that, so I think just the calmness comes from the fact that I know that we have the right people in place, right? Mike Green, Tommy DeLago, Dustin Davis. This is the same team that we've had for years and years, and if you ask me, I think that they're the best crew out here. I think that, having the opportunity to work with them and race on behalf of SCAG Power Equipment and Metalcraft of Mayville, everybody at SCAG Racing gives us everything we need to be successful, so that in conjunction with each other makes it a lot easier to just be patient throughout this process.
And I always find it interesting, you'll see right now, it seems like nothing can go wrong with Tony Stewart and TSR, or that, then a little Swain, Sean Langdon was earlier in the year where everything's going well for them. Just, how do you find that, or how hard is it to find that balance of, no matter what the conditions are, no matter what, what the track gives you weather-wise, that you're able to make a good pass and be able to be as competitive and going for wins, being in the semifinals, finals every single weekend?
Yeah, I think the sport's very up and down, so everybody's got their time, right? I mean, you have to give credit to guys like Tony Stewart and Sean Langdon. They're probably the class of the field right now, but they'll tell you the same thing. It's very easy to stay even keel because you know that this sport will humble you very, very quickly. So, I mean, it's just a matter of being smart. No matter what happens, you don't want to overstep. You want to always race the racetrack and run as quick and as fast as you can, but it's a balancing act, like you said, and that's why you have to have the right people making the right decisions. You can't be over-aggressive. You can't be too conservative either. So I think once you find that window, generally you're in pretty good shape, and we've seen that with a lot of the cars throughout this year. So we'll see what happens. It's a long year, thankfully, but throughout 7 races, we're learning each and every time down the racetrack.
I guess if you could compare, this time last year you had a couple wins under your belt, and you were at that point where you were maybe testing some more things, getting ready for the countdown. Do you feel in a way maybe you're, maybe behind, or how's that sort of balance right now compared to last year?
I think that we're in a different position, right, than we were last year. I'd have to look, but I'm sure we were probably, let's just say around 3rd in the points at this time last year, and we're in 5th now. I think maybe at the time we felt like we had a better handle on the race car at this point than we do this year, but it's a process, right? We understand that, we get that. It's only a matter of time before we quote-unquote get it. But at the same time, we've had success this year, right? We really have. We've done a really good job. Everybody on the team's done a really good job. Sometimes you win the close races, sometimes you don't. That's why you got to just control what you can control, which is running your lane, and whatever the guy in the other lane does, he does. So I think we haven't had some of the same breaks that we had last year, and that's part of it. But I mean, I'd still say maybe we're a touch behind we were last year, but we still feel like we're in a really good position going forward.
And final question, obviously being here in Bristol, you've had success here in the past. What makes this place, this is my first time being here, so just to see the carved out, drag strip and with the mountains and everything, just it's a super cool look. Just what makes this place so different from other tracks that that you go to?
I think it's a few things. I think most notably the first thing is the way it sounds here. We at NHRA, right, we're a sensory sport. It's a sensory experience, and it sounds incredible everywhere, but it sounds different in Thunder Valley because you're racing in between two mountains. So it really is louder. It's a little bit more intense, and the facility itself is gorgeous. It's beautiful. There's so much greenery around, so many trees, and it really feels like it's out in the country. And the fans come out in droves every time. They're super knowledgeable, super excited to be here. Bristol is very, very special. One of the more prestigious races, and I also spent a lot of time here as a kid, so it's very special to me. I can't tell you how many times I was here watching my dad race Pro Modified as a kid, so every time I come back, it brings a lot of great memories.
Well, Justin, hopefully the weekend goes well, and maybe we'll break that curse that every single time we end up at a racetrack,
We're breaking it.
Well, Justin, appreciate you taking the time, and good luck this weekend.